Hello, ma'am.
Hi, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm very sorry. And okay, please let's just start again.
All right, ma'am.
Yes, please.
Are we live on YouTube?
Yes, we are.
Okay, ma'am. All right, everyone on YouTube, we sincerely apologize for the issues, and by tomorrow we will have better connections. So please accept our apologies from all of us here, and we're truly sorry. So want to thank you for your patience. Thank you for registering, and you're welcome to the first ever Fluent Speech Annual Conference. And the theme of our conference is the art of speaking with panache. And we are having 6 speakers, but today we're going to have 2 speakers taking us on 2 different topics. Right about now, we'll have the convener give her speech. Miss Bridget, I beg your pardon. You have the floor now. Please give your speech.
Thank you so very much, Miss Ibinabo Bensika. That was a lovely one. Thank you so very kindly. I
No.
appreciate your support and everything. Thank you. And to our audience, we apologize for the breakout. We apologize for the glitches. We are very sorry. This is our first ever conference. And of course, we are all in Nigeria and you know how it can be. So we are truly sorry. We are very sorry. We appreciate you. We appreciate your time and we appreciate your support. So please, if you're online, please join us again and please make a comment in the section. We will appreciate your comment. So my name again is Olubukola Abi Agbalaya, and I welcome you to our first ever conference. That is the Fluent Speech Annual Conference 2020. It is my great pleasure to welcome you to the Fluent Speech Annual Conference 2020. And as I said earlier, it is our first ever conference. And we are extremely grateful to our speakers, to our volunteers, and of course, to our audience for your tremendous support. Thank you so much. We are fortunate to have the support of erudites who have prepared so well to empower and transform you during this conference. The erudites were carefully and uniquely placed on this platform, all because of the love we have for our audience. The conference theme is the art of speaking with panache. And who are better placed, if not the 6 experts, whom we have carefully picked to speak with you with so much power, panache, and elegance. I am very glad we found the perfect selection of prepared and equipped speakers. I call them the 6 Dons, who are here to empower and transform you into someone who speaks with panache. At this point, I would like to pose a question to you. Right about now, I think the only person we have here is Blessing Ezima. Blessing, welcome. So I would like to pose this question to you. What would happen to you or to your career if you start speaking with panache? I need you to get an answer to that question. What will happen to you or your career if you start speaking with panache? It is very important for you to get answer to that. So before ending my remark, I would like to remind you that this is a 3-day conference. And I would like to also say we have put in so much effort into this. And all because we love our audience. That is why we did this. We did so much. And your attendance means a lot to us. So please kindly make yourself available all through the 3 days. It means a lot to us. So remember, it's a 3 days conference, and the first session will always start for 5 p.m., while the second session will start for 7 p.m. We did it in a way that you would have a 1 hour break so that you can attend to other things you have. And I sincerely hope you will enjoy today and the next 2 days of our enthralling, empowering, and transforming session. Thanks so graciously for your participation. I remain Olubukola Abi Agbalaya, the convener. Thank you, Miss Ibinabo.
Thank you very much. A round of applause for that. That's wonderful. And I hope you have your writing materials with you because you have to leave here with something. Ma'am is oh yes, I'm the moderator and my name is Bensika Ibinabo. Ma'am, our speaker's ready. Our first speaker, is she ready?
Okay. Our first speaker will be joining us quite late due to one reason or the other. She called a few minutes ago while I was trying to fix the network. However, I got this. So not to worry, I'll just have to do something that would be impactful, of course, and thrilling, and of great benefit to your time and yourself. But I believe she will join us before I am done.
All right, before that, we'd like to ask some questions. We'd like to know why. Why did you come up with the Fluent Speech Annual Conference? And why did you decide to make it free?
Okay. Thank you so very kindly, Miss Ibinabo. That's a very good question. Last 2 months, July, that's my birthday. I came up with the plan of running a free class, a free WhatsApp class for all of the people in my network. And while I was doing that, someone asked a question, why do I do almost everything for free? Then that got me. I was like, doing everything for free? I've not even done anything. I want to impact more people. I want to reach out to more people. I understand that not everyone can afford a paid class, or not everyone is convinced enough for a paid class. So in my climb, or should I say, in my motive, my good motive to reach out to a lot of people, I felt, okay, why not come up with a summit? That was the first thing that came to my mind. A summit where we can have other speakers that are as good as you are to come educate as many people as possible. And that was what birthed this. So after taking the idea for a few days, I spoke to a very good friend of mine, and he said, wow, that's a very good one. So I kickstarted, and we were supposed to come up for the 28th to the 30th of August. But due to one reason or the other, we had to postpone it to September 4th to 6th. So what really birthed this is my aim of reaching out to more people, of helping a whole lot of people speak better. Because I understand that there is a whole lot of opportunity out there for you when you speak better, when you speak with power, when you speak with panache. I believe that your voice can do a whole lot for you. And that's why I created this platform.
That's beautiful. Thank you very much, ma'am, for putting this together. All right, we are waiting for your presentation.
Okay, thank you so very kindly once again, Miss Ibinabo. So as I've said, I'm not supposed to be doing this, but because the first speaker is not available now, she is on her way. She will join us as soon as possible. So I will be talking about few tips that will help you make this class a worthy one. Few tips that will help all our audience make this class, make this session a worthy one. Now, a whole lot of people at some point in their life have registered for an online course or have attended an online class. Sometimes you have to pay. Sometimes you have to pay as much as 10,000, 20,000, 100,000, and all of that. But at the end, most people feel that, oh, it's just a waste of money after the conference. In the conference or during the conference, the anointing is there. The rema is dropping. And they're like, wow, I got value for my money. And after the conference, after the D-Day, you just find out that Nothing is happening. Sometimes they go for a class, a marketing class or a speaking class, and they're just like, okay, after this conference, I'm supposed to start speaking with power. I'm supposed to start speaking with energy. I'm supposed to start speaking with all of that. They have these objectives, but they find out that, oh, it's not working. Why? Some of them feels, the speaker or the facilitator is not good enough. Some of them feels, just waste another money. So that you would not have such feeling after this conference, even though it's a free conference, I understand that you are spending your time as much as your money in terms of data. So that you would not say that, I just wasted my money and my time on this, or those speakers, even though during the conference you will feel like, oh, Rema is dropping, I'm getting value and all of that. Now, so that you won't feel this, I want you to get your writing pad and write all of those tips I want to talk about. And the first tip is practice, practice, practice. If you follow me very closely on my social media handles, Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn, or even WhatsApp status, you will agree with me that I emphasize practicing. In fact, I can never overemphasize that. That is because speaking is an act. Speaking is an act. ACT. It is not like mathematics or science where you just need to read or you just need to go to a class or a lecture room and you believe, yeah, the transformation is there. I know it already. No. If after this conference, if after the Rema that will be dropped on you, if after the value added you post on Facebook, you don't go about practicing, nothing will happen. Then you would have just wasted your money on data and, of course, your time. It's not a curse. So please practice everything that will be shared with you in this session. Please, you cannot override practicing. Keep practicing. Now, I understand that when you attend a class, you would not get everything. For example, A might get go, and B might get come. C might get under. But because A practice go, and B practice under, and C practice whatever it is he or she got, then there will be a transformation, no matter how little. But if you got everything and you refuse to practice, then no transformation will happen. So, practice it is very, very key. It is very important. Practice, practice, practice. I can never overemphasize that. That's my first tips. So for everything you will get in this conference on grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation, keep practicing. Funnily enough, or interestingly, this conference is not just about pronunciation. It covers all the aspects of English language. Grammar accuracy, vocabulary, spicing up your conversation, and lastly, pronunciation. For you to be able to showcase yourself, speak well, talk to people with the right pronunciation, you will get everything here. And we have 6 good speakers. So if you are able to meet up with all of the 6 speakers, the 6 experts, and you practice all of the tips or all of the things they share with you, then the transformation will be there. Now, secondly, apart from practicing, the next thing I want to talk about is you not getting intimidated. For the past 3 years counting, have worked with lots of adults, professionals, brands, and even children. And one of the things I find out is that most of them, about 90%, in fact 95% of them are always feeling intimidated. They feel that, oh, if I speak this way, People will feel I'm forming, or people will feel I'm wrong. At some point, even when I post some things on Facebook, you hear comments like, but if I say this outside, they'll feel I'm the one wrong here. Or they'll be like, I've known this for years. So do you just expect me to use this now? Everyone will feel I'm wrong. Or some people will feel like, Miss Bukola, if I start speaking like this in the office, believe me, they will tell me I'm forming. In their words, they will tell me, Otutide won't form. And seriously, it's not about forming. It's about standing out. It's about being who you are. It's about using what you want. So you would hear a lot of things that are against or that are not what you have heard before. You would hear a lot of things that is the opposite of the usual. You will hear a lot of things that you yourself will feel, am I sure this is right? And that is because I understand that you are used to a particular way of doing things. And because of that, sometimes when you're exposed to the new way of doing something, you feel at the beginning, you feel intimidated. At the beginning, you feel remorse. At the beginning, you feel like, excuse me, is this really it? So you need to drop that intimidation aspect of you. You need to drop that doubting Thomas in the usual way of saying that phrase. Drop it, come with an open mind. And after you have accepted or you have observed everything we have to share with you, then you need to use it. You need to stand on your toes and use it. So don't say that because your friend will feel you are forming, or because your friend will feel you are talking like an Oyibo, or because your friend will feel you're the wrong person here, then you won't use it. Let me share a story with you. There was a day I went to the salon. When I got there, I met this lady that feels, oh, who is this girl? Why is she talking like this? Why is she forming? Why? And she's a girl, not even a lady. But because of what I do, because this is me, I found it so difficult to come down to mediocrity. I found it so difficult to come down to what she expects. So I kept doing what I was doing. I kept talking the way I was talking. And I made a statement and say, oh, I like to plait this style. And she was like, excuse me, ma'am. It's not plait, it's plate. And the first thing I did was to smile. Plate. Okay, fine. For years, as a Nigerian, we have been pronouncing that word as plate. If I was not an elocutionist, perhaps I will be somewhere pronouncing that word as plate as well. But because I know better, it's plat, and I say plat. And I had to tell her the word is plat, even though she didn't believe me. And she's not ready to drop a plate for plat. So she keeps saying, plait my hair. So please don't be like, ah. Another day, I was in the same shop. And I was playing with the daughter of the hairstylist. And I was like, oh, you don't want to greet me, right? If you don't greet me, I will not get you a box of pizza. And there's this old woman, and she said, do you mean box of pizza? I said, yes, but the right pronunciation is pizza. And she was like, what's it today? I want to know you, boy. So, I had reasons to want to speak like the usual when I'm outside, when I'm on public transit, when I'm somewhere where I feel people will feel, why is she talking like this? But because I know what I want, because I know I'm a light, and I will not bow down to mediocrity, I had to keep doing what I have to do. That is, I have to keep speaking right. So please, in the course of this course, you will listen. In fact, you will hear lots of things that are not conforming to the usual. Please don't say because I've always known that the word is barbing salon or saloon. That I will keep saying barbing saloon. Or because I've always known that it is gate man. I will keep saying gate man. Please don't do that. So you have to come with an open mind. Be open minded. Okay, our first speaker is here. Our first speaker is here. I welcome you, ma'am. Thank you.
So good to have you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I am so sorry. I'm late. I'm sorry. Let me try to get better illumination.
It's fine. It's
Okay.
fine.
I hope that this
Okay,
will be better.
everyone. We have our second speaker, our first rather. We have our first speaker here. Remember, I was just bringing this to await her arrival, and she's here. Finally, I'm dancing. Miss Abinaba, do you want to join me in my dancing steps?
Welcome, ma'am. So good to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. So good to
Okay,
be here.
just to round off my session, remember I was talking about tips that will help you make the best use of this opportunity. Remember, the first is you need to practice everything that the speakers will share with you. It is very important. And the second is be open-minded. And don't say because you're used to a particular way of speaking or a particular phrase or a particular idiom or whatever it is, and you feel, okay, that is just the way it is. No, it is not carved in stone. This is English, and it's so dynamic. In fact, I call it a very crazy language. So please be open-minded, and after this, go ahead to practice. So thank you so very much. I would have to step down for
Thank you very much, ma'am, for the wonderful tips you've given to us. All right about now, we'll have the profile of our speaker before we hear from our speaker. Her profile, ma'am. Her profile.
Okay, let me quickly do that.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm almost there. I am almost there. Okay, I'm supposed to play a video, but remember I told you I switched my laptop the other time, so I forgot to upload it here. So let me quickly read through the profile. Okay, here is our first speaker, and she's no other person than the highly esteemed Miss Debbie, as she is fondly called. Deborah S. Hericon. Am I sure that is the right pronunciation? Please, you have to correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, she is a highly self-motivated and enthusiastic elocution and public speaking coach, a nutritionist, an entrepreneur, and she is the director and head coach of the Sophia Universal. With over 5 years experience as addiction and personality development trainer, with clientele spanning across schools, educators, companies, non-governmental organizations, political campaign organizations, and individuals who have undergone private tutorials. Deborah, the classic coach, currently leads a team of expertly trained coaches in the cities of Ibadan, Abuja, and Jos. Her passion for self-development as regards proper communication skills has propelled her achievements, as she has recorded impressive results from hundreds of clients over the years. Please help me welcome Miss Deborah Hess Hericon. I apologize for murdering your name. I apologize.
Thank you so very much. I appreciate this opportunity. And of course, you are forgiven, ma'am. That name is still very tough for a lot of people, but I am Deborah Hirikan.
Okay,
Hirikan.
here we can. Here we can.
Hirikan.
Is that an English
Yes.
name?
No, it's not.
Oh, I
It's
see. Here
not.
we
Yes.
can.
So, of course, you've
Thank you
had
for
it.
forgiving me.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me here, everyone. I do not know how many of us are online, but hello, everyone. And it's so good to be part of you this evening. Hello, Coach Peter. Hello, Miss Abimbola, Ari Branda. I'm so honored to be here today. And I hope that whatever I get to share here is going to impact you and is going to produce some really positive results, not just in your life, but also as a ripple effect. You're going to be able to pass it on to others. So let's get right into it. I'm going to be sharing a slide with you. It's a very short slide to just help me through my presentation. And I hope that we can all follow and make the best of it. Okay. I do not know. Okay, can we all see this? Hello, can we all see?
Yes,
Please
ma'am.
respond. Okay, great. So I have a very nice picture of myself there. And I will be talking about creating the perfect first impression with your voice. Until a few years ago, I never knew that this was a thing. And I'm so excited that I can be talking about this today. Let's get right into it. This is our table of content. We're going to have an introduction and then talking about first impression. What does it mean and why is it important? Third, we're going to be talking about the voice. What role does voicing play in creating? And last but not the least, we're going to talk about how to make the most of your voice and what can you do to improve on the factor of voicing in creating an enchanting first impression. I beg your pardon. A brief introduction about myself. Yes, I know you heard my profile, and while that sounded really wonderful, sometimes I wonder if it's me who's really been talked about in that profile. Here's something I really want you to know about me. I'm popularly referred to as Miss Debbie, and of course, you heard I'm an elocutionist, a nutritionist, and an entrepreneur. And I love to teach. I love it. I love to teach individuals across diverse age groups and fields of endeavors. And I love to teach because it also affords me the opportunity to learn from others and embrace the diversity of multiple perspectives and ideologies. Now, this is a fun fact about me. I should, and I believe that I would have been the inventor of a jetpack. But my auntie didn't agree. She thought that tying polythene bags all over my body to help me levitate was stupid. And so here I am teaching. Okay, so I would love to meet us real quick, and I would love for you to just type in the comment section your name, what you love to do, and if you can afford it, a fun fact about yourself. While I do this, I'm going to, go back and forth with screen sharing and also just trying to get to meet all of you. Okay, so I realized that when I share my screen, I do not get to see the live video, and I would want to do away with that. So I will be going back and forth with that. So quickly, I want to start to see your chats. Introduce yourself, what you love to do, and if you can afford it, a fun fact about yourself. Now let's go into what is first impression? What does it mean? Why is it so important? Thank you so much, Ms. Elizabeth Adebimpe. Thank you so much. Okay, so I will be toggling this back and forth. Please just bear with me. I'll be done in no time at all. Okay, so next, first impression. What does it mean? Now, from a dictionary, the word impression means the opinion or feeling you have about someone or something because of the way they seem. Now, pay attention to the word seem, which means that an opinion or feeling or an impression can be formed not by basing it on facts, but just because of what the observer perceives about the object of observation. And in psychology, a first impression is the event when one person first encounters another person and forms a mental image of that person. Impression accuracy varies depending on the observer and the target. So you really, as the target, you really do not have so much control over what the person who's the observer, what kind of impression they form about you. However, there's certain things you can do to fix that. Now, I do not know what you know about impression, but one of the things science has proven is that in about 3 seconds of meeting someone new, they form part of an impression, and that focuses on your appearance. When people see you, they form a quick impression about how you look. You also do the same to everyone else you meet. And in about 7 seconds, people will form a complete impression, a first impression about you based on your appearance, how you sound, and then finally what you say. So what you say is not as important as how you say in the sequence of creating a first impression. Hello, Rebecca. So good to meet you. Thank you for being part of this. Bob Moss, Asiat Olushola. So good. Abosede. So good to see you here. And every other person, just keep typing. I'm just going to say hello as I can. I want to know that I'm not alone in this place. Let's get back to our first impression. So if your appearance, how you sound, and what you say in 7 seconds gives an observer the information they need to form an impression about you, that means you cannot be casual about the kind of impression you're giving people about yourself. Now, I'm not going to be talking about the first, which has to do with appearance. I'm going to be focusing on the second aspect of this, or the second part of this, and that is how you sound. Because I'm talking about creating a perfect first impression using your voice, and definitely that is how you sound. And then you move on to what you actually say, but most importantly, how you say it. I do not know if you know that saying, what you say is not as important as how you say it. And that's what we're focusing on today. Let's get back to the slide and see what we have there. Now let's talk about the next thing, which is, why is this important? Why is your first impression important? There are many reasons, but I picked 3 major reasons. The foremost is they last well beyond that moment. Your first impression will last well beyond that moment, and in many cases, a lifetime. It's not just for that moment, it goes beyond that. And in some cases, a lifetime. Someone goes with that impression they have of you from the first time you met. The second reason why this is very important is that oftentimes than not, especially in business and other fields of similar endeavor, you might have just one shot at it, which means it's irreversible. And you you may not have an opportunity to fix that impression, especially if it wasn't good. So you have just one shot at it. Now try to think, if you were in a football match and you had the defining goal, the goal that was going to give your team the victory or the loss of the match, would you pay more attention to that goal or not? Apply the same principle here. You need to pay very rapt attention to the kind of impression you're creating. And the third reason why this is important is that a great first impression can speed the process of things you desire and you are working towards. What does this mean? A great first impression makes you trustworthy or makes you come across as someone who can be trusted. Now imagine that virtue in business or in anything at all. It speeds up your process. This is what guarantees referrals. So we have lots of people who are saying, refer me, refer my business, refer whatever it is I'm doing. But have you created a good first impression that makes us think that you are trustworthy enough to be referred or recommended for a job? These 3 reasons are why I say that your first impression is very, very important. Yes. Let's go back and let's see. Okay, now let's talk about the voice. What role does voicing play in creating a first impression? I'm going to be showing you 2 studies. Okay, now this is science-based, which means it has been researched and it has been proven. And I'm just going to read it out. In a study published in the Journal of Psychological Science, MBA students from the University of Chicago were videotaped giving pitches on why they should be hired. Prospective employers and professional recruiters were then given 3 options: viewing the video, listening to the audio, or reading a transcript. And this was the conclusion of the study. These evaluators rated a candidate as more competent, thoughtful, and intelligent when they heard a pitch rather than read it, and as a result had a more favorable impression of the candidate and were more interested in hiring the candidate. Can you see what's playing out here? This has to do with voicing. Now, you see that it is when they heard the pitch that they were able to make all of this impressions or create these impressions about the candidate they were listening to. Notice competence, thoughtfulness, and intelligence in that category for people who were heard when they were speaking. Adding voice to written pitches by having trained actors or untrained adults read them produced the same results. Adding visual cues to audio pitches did not alter evaluations of the candidate, which means the ones who watched the video effect on what. For conveying one's intellect, it is important that one's voice quite literally be heard. This is science and it is proven. So this clearly states that in most cases, looks matter even less than voicing, especially when you're creating an impression in a field like business. Let's look at the second study. Researchers in the UK recruited around 60 undergraduate students, half male and half female, and recorded them reading a short passage in a nondescript voice. Science Now describes, of course, Science Now is the journal. The team edited down the recordings, leaving only the part where the students picked up the phone and said, "Hello." Then they asked over 300 other students to listen to the recordings of that single word and give an impression of the unseen person speaking it. Now let's see what people said. The students didn't hesitate to make judgments about the speakers at the other end. And now to what the findings said. Men who raised the tone of their voices and women who alternated the pitch of their voices were rated as more trustworthy. Are you shocked? Men with lower pitched voices were generally perceived as more dominant, but the opposite was true for women. Now, these are all researchers proving that your voice does play a very important role when creating an impression. Whether we can see you or not, your voice is important. Hello, Jeff. I love that you love learning. I love learning too. Hi, Damilola. Good. Oh, you're a teacher like me. Hello, Olajumoke. Great, you love learning. Hello, Friday. Hello, Rebecca. And any other persons I'm missing because the chat has gone up. So, who's amazed at these findings? I was blown away when I realized how important the tone of your voice could be in any space at any time. If you are amazed as I am, please just type it in the chat. Let me know that some people are following me here. Great. So, I'm going to tell you a story that backs this up. And this is a personal experience. It's something I experienced. Years ago, when I was in the junior secondary school 3, my school had a program for students, a leadership and citizenship, training program at Sherry Hills Mountain School. I do not know if you've ever heard of Sherry Hills Mountain School. It's based in Jos, Plateau State, Nigeria. And when we got there, there's this particular program, they called it Plateau Scheme. That program or that course and that training program had to do with compass and map reading. They give us points and we use a compass and a map to find our way around to a camp. Along the way, we got to a village, a remote area, and we needed to find our next point, but we were confused. So we saw this old woman sitting outside the house, and we approached her to ask if she could help us. Now, when we went there, because of the impression we had about this woman, she's old, she's in a village, she's not eloquently dressed. The first thing we did was to greet her in the Hausa language. Those of us in the team who could speak approached her and greeted her in the Hausa language and asked the question in Hausa language. And this woman did something. When she opened her mouth to speak, she spoke in eloquent English, Queen's English, and asked us again what we wanted. We were shocked. This was a personal experience, and I would never forget that day. That woman changed our minds in an instant because we had already formed an impression. So we approached her based on the impression we had of her. But when this woman spoke, everything we had of this woman went off. You that you sound so good. You can reverse an impression that has been formed based on appearance. Remember, I said it takes 3 seconds to form an impression on appearance and about 7 seconds to form an impression based on how you sound and then what you say. So you have 7 seconds to correct the first, or you have 4 more seconds, I beg your pardon, to correct the error of the first 3 seconds. How well are you going to use this? Now we've seen why this is important. Let's go and then see how we can make the most of this. So hi, Joy Serial. I hope I got that. Welcome. And Tawheed Oyewo, a researcher and a tutor. So good to have you here with us. Thank you very much. Now, we're still talking about how to create a perfect first impression with your voice. You need your voice. Your voice is an asset. Many people do not know that. Once you understand this, even the way you say hello, like we saw in that research, just one word was able to create an impression where people could say that some were dominant or some were trustworthy and some were not trustworthy just because they said hello. Who understands how serious this thing is? Perhaps all of the people you've been trying to pitch to really just feel that you're not intelligent enough because of the way you sound. Is this a serious thing? I believe it is. Who agrees with me? I believe it's a serious. So let's see, what can we do? How can we make the most of our voice to be able to create that enchanting first impression we've always been going for, or we are going for from now on forth? I'm going to be sharing again the final part of what we have to do here today. Now, I know that I am so late, and that's why I'm trying to rush through all of this so that we can have some question and answer time. Now I have just 3 parts. I've divided this into 3 parts, and I want to keep it as simple as possible. Number 1, tone. You need to work on the tone of your voice. Number 2, pitch. And number 3, speech. Tone, pitch, and speech. Now for your tone, what can you do better? First, speak moderately, not too fast and not too slow either. You have to keep an engaging tone. So you're not, I know the speech rebrander calls it hot yam syndrome or something like that. Hi, Abimbola. Okay, so you have to learn to pace your speech properly. Pace. Okay, give that tone, not very fast. You're not shouting and you're not boring. And second, use rising and falling intonations properly. If you sound flat, you're going to be boring and people will think that you're not intelligent enough. Yes, research has proven that. I just didn't put that particular study that people who always use a flat tone or falling intonation were,
Four. Super.
rising intonation and falling intonation, which means you alternate when it is required. Next is pitch. Use a lower pitch and use vocal inflection. Now, speak from your diaphragm. You're not speaking in high, thin pitch. People who use or who speak with a high pitch are perceived to be nervous or childish. Research has proven it. Yes, everything I'm saying is research based. So when you use a lower pitch and you speak from your diaphragm, speaking from your diaphragm, if you're part of a choir or someone who sings, you know that to get better voice and when you're singing, they tell you to sing from, your tummy or sing from your belly. That simply means to bring the voice from inside, and that's your diaphragm. If that can help you singing sound better, how much more you're speaking. Let's talk about speech. First, be clear when you speak. Make sure to open your mouth. Don't speak with clenched teeth. And for some of us, someone like me, I open my mouth. So I have so much movement going on around my mouth. Many people do not, but I do. But that helps me speak clearly. And if that is what is going to help you speak clearly, you have to adopt it. Second, pay attention to the sounds of the words, especially ending sounds. When you do not pronounce your ending sounds properly, your speech is going to be slurry and all jumbled up together. So pay attention to the sounds of the words and how you're pronouncing them, especially the ending sounds. And finally, avoid the use of filler words. What are filler words? Like, as in, that is very common, as in Nigeria. I mean, so, no. Those are filler words. Avoid the use of filler words. This makes you sound confident. This makes you sound more intelligent. And who does not want to associate with someone who comes across? I do not know who's still here with me. Of course, as in, a lot of people say that, but you should avoid those. Now, I just saw that all of the chat had disappeared, so I was a bit scared. But if you're here, please just send a hi to reassure me that you're still here and I haven't been talking to myself. Like I said, when I share my screen, great, thank you. When I share my screen, I cannot see the live feed, so I'm just hoping that I am still there. Thank you, everyone who's still here with
apologies for that. I believe she is experiencing network glitches. Please stay tuned. She should be back soon. I believe she is experiencing network glitches. Please stay tuned. She should be back soon. I believe she is experiencing network glitches. Please stay tuned. She should be back soon. I believe.
All right. If um,
I'm so sorry. I think I went off. Okay, please, you're here. Let me hear you just say, I'm still here, Mr. B. Just type it, I'm still here, or I'm still with you. I want to see the word still so that I am sure that I'm still connected. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, that's reassuring. So, I will be bringing my talk on how to create an enchanting first impression to an end. And quickly, I'm going to take some questions so that we can give room to the second speaker for today. And I would not be taking all of the time. Okay, so any questions? Hello, Adeyemi Joshua. He said, yo. Welcome. Thank you everyone who's been here, who's listened to me. So let me get in your chat. If you do not have a question, please make a comment about what you just, Elizabeth said, with my full chest. Okay, so if you do not have a question, please just send in a chat acknowledging what you've listened to today and what you've learned from it. And if you have a question, please just type that and I will be answering. Or how do we do this? Fluent speech. I hope I can take the questions. Okay, someone said, how can someone eradicate the hot yam syndrome? That's it, it's the hot yam syndrome. Thanks to Speech with Brenda, she made me know that one. I speak with so much speed, especially when I'm explaining. How do I keep it steady? So we're talking about the same thing here. Two people asking the same questions. I'm going to start with that. It's very important because I have a lot of people who ask this. I talk really fast, especially when I'm excited. So how do I, check this, or when I'm nervous? The first thing is you have to be confident. First, be confident about whatever it is you're saying. Confidence plays a very major role because many people speak really fast when they're nervous. And when you speak really fast, people think that you're nervous, even when you're not. So first, check your confidence. Is confidence there? Check. Next, you have to try to pronounce all the words and all the sounds. I beg your pardon. All the sounds, paying attention to the ending sounds. I'll give you an example. If you want to say, I want to go and visit my grandmother. I want to go and visit my grandmother. Now, I want you to say that to yourself, or say it out loud, not to yourself. Say it out loud wherever you are. And make sure that for each of the words in that sentence, you pronounce the ending sound, the last consonant. I want to go and visit my grandmother. Say it as fast as you can, making sure to pronounce all the last consonants in the words. Good. Now you would have, I want to go and visit my grandmother. No matter how fast you speak, the moment you pay attention to pronouncing the last consonant sounds, properly, it's going to slow down your speech. This is what you would normally do. I want to go and visit my grandmother. I want to go and visit my grandmother. So not go and visit my grandmother. You're saying, I want to go and visit my grandmother. Okay, so that gives you just roll over it so fast. And it's slurry and it's not clear and articulated properly. I hope I've been able to answer that question. Yes, that's the simple thing you need to pay attention to. Pronounce the last consonant clearly and properly. Over time, you're going to get used to it. Of course, it's a journey. You can't eradicate this in a day. I saw another question here.
From Adeyemi Joshua, what's
Okay.
H factor in enunciation?
Enunciation. Okay, so H factor. I see lots of Yoruba names here, and this is very common with Yoruba people. So it simply means adding the sound. That's the sound that is represented by symbol H, and most times occurs when you have the letter H in a word. Now, when you articulate that sound, use the back of your hand to feel the air. Good. In words like house, hat, him, you can really feel the air there. Now, someone who has an H factor, and one kind of the H factor called de-affectation, meaning that you take out that sound from where it's supposed to be, the person would say house instead of house. Now try to do this. House. You would realize that there is no air there. House. There's air there. And the second type of the H factor called the affectation, meaning people who add that sound in front of a vowel sound, where the sound is not supposed to be. So let's take a word like egg. Egg, the egg you eat, or the apple you eat. Someone with an affectation will say apple, apple, ever apple, as against apple, or egg. And they would say egg. So you can have either one or both of those H factors. Affectation, adding the sound where it shouldn't be. De-affectation, taking the sound from where it's supposed to be, particularly that sound. I hope I've been able to answer that question. Any more questions, please?
Yes, ma'am. Bang.
I didn't get that from the moderator. Okay, I'm going to try to answer what I can see. Okay, someone's asking here, how can one avoid the use of, as in, etc.? This feels, or sometimes it looks like you may not, it's so hard because when you're talking, you need that. But it can be done away with, and cheaply, if I may add. All you have to do is settle and be confident about what you're saying. Then don't rush your speech. Remember, we said to speak moderately, not too slow and not too fast. When you're not rushing your speech, you're able to process what you want to say before you say it. This also comes with some practice, of course. It's not going to go away in one day, or, you just stand somewhere to give a speech and you're able to do it like that. So you have to practice, you have to consciously practice. There are different filler words. Some are very obvious, some are not. But you want to do away with, especially the very obvious ones like you've said it 10 times already in 3 sentences. That is a problem. However, I would also like to add here that if you have a message and you're able to engage the audience properly, you're giving out value, good value, when you stand to speak, people can ignore your filler words. However, do away with them. Keep working on it. Just be confident and try to process what it is you're saying. So slow down your speech, and that should help. Any more questions, please?
None, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you very much. I believe that you enjoyed this session. If you did, please let me hear your thoughts in the chat session.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
very much. I'm going to be handing over now to the moderator. It was my pleasure.
Thank you so much. Wow, that was an awesome section right there. So don't use the high pitch. You'll be someone. Oh, Mr. Bimbola said she enjoyed the class. Thank you so much, ma'am. I did enjoy the class, and I realized that I use high pitch when I'm nervous, and that's true. So I'll learn to use the lower tone. All right, everyone, please don't forget to click on the subscribe button on our YouTube channel. Miss Bukola. Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
Are we going on our break now?
Yes, please. But before then, Miss Deborah, that was hot. Permit me to say the Rema was dripping. But mind me, that was very, very, very hot. As in hot. Thank you so graciously. Thank you so very much. That was
My
so much
pleasure.
value flying all over the place, and I am so impressed. Thank you so very much. And of course, in the chat room, we have lots of I got value, I enjoyed the class. I joined late, but it made so much sense with the little I heard. Thank you so very much. Thank you,
My
thank you,
pleasure.
thank you. Let's see your face. Yes, and I wrote on my page that she is the real deal. So before you
Oh,
go, yes, seriously. So before you go, I need you to please share your social media handles with us so that we can
okay.
follow and learn more from you. And also, let's know your offer. Let's know your offer. We're ready to learn more, and I know you have a lot to offer here. So please let know the offer you have for us and your social media handles.
Thank you very much once more. You know, I just love to call you Fluent Speech, even though I know your name is Bukola.
That's
So,
fine.
yes, of course. I like to call people by their brand. And this is what you're putting out, and it's so good. It's rich. I appreciate it, and I'm honored to be here once more. Thank you so much, everyone. I am blown away by the comments, so much value. I was just so nervous that I would be able to impact in so little time, even coming late. My apologies once more. So, of course, you can follow me on social media at Sophia Diction. I'm sorry, I don't even know where to type a chat here. I'm so sorry. So at Sophia Diction, Sophia is spelled Sophia, and Diction Diction, Sophia Diction. On Instagram, on Facebook, and on Twitter, you can find us at Sophia Diction. And of course, we have different packages. if you're in Abuja, we're about to launch a training on Monday. You can still catch up with that. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Miss Abimbola. Thank you. That's it right there. Everyone's on the chat at Sophia Diction, right? And you could also sign up or contact us for a private one-to-one training or tutorial, or for a company or for schools. We love to work with schools a lot, consulting for schools. We love to do that. So whatever it is, if you have an offer you think would be good enough for both of us, some partnership, anything at all, please slide into our DMs, as they say. Send us a message on any of our social media handles and we'll get right back to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So for everyone, is at Sophia Diction, in case you didn't get that, on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Sophia Diction. At Sophia Diction. Miss Bukola, are you still here?
I am right here.
Welcome, ma'am. So do we go on a break?
Okay, I think we're done. Yes, please. Yes, please.
All right, everyone. We'll be going on a short break, and we'll be right back at 6:59. It's rude to keep our speaker waiting, so let's come back by 6:59 for our next session. Don't forget to click on the subscribe button on YouTube, and you can follow us at Fluent Speech on Instagram. Yes, Fluent Speech on Instagram. Thank you very much. We'll see you after the break. Just stay tuned. You can dance, you can stretch, you can do all you want to do now, but be here by 6:59. 6:59 is the time. Thank you once again, ma'am, for the first session.